Hey, what's going on, Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans? This is former Buccaneers defensive tackle James Canada, aka Big Game James, and this is Games Pewter Perspective Mock Draft. Now, I know a lot of people's doing a lot of different mock drafts, and a buddy of mine said, "Yo, James, you need to get on the mock draft tip." And I was like, "Sure, why not?" So here it is in a nutshell. Um, Special thanks and shout out to PFF website and mock draft generator. I went on here and played around a little bit, and this is my first mock draft. So without diving into our needs right off the bat, just wanted to make sure that I did something that everyone else kind of did to show, kind of what positions we need. And I know things can change. This is a mock draft that is no trades right now. You know what I'm saying? We hadn't moved up and trade around, just went strictly by the book. So here it is. The picks in the order, if nothing miraculous has happened in the draft this year, with the Buccaneers starting at 19 in the first round and so forth and so on. That's kind of what I have scoped out for the Buccaneers and what I think they might do. So there it is. The Pewter Perspective Mock Draft 1.0. And a lot of people are going to say go O line. I've heard some say go linebacker. But with our secondary free agents, the very first pick that I made in this draft was safety out of Alabama, Brian Branch. That's right. Branch overall is a versatile defensive back who has the ability to make plus level plays at every alignment. Um, Teams who draft him are also getting a player who plays with intensity and a passion for the game that can help him become an influential team leader. He just had a great combine this past weekend, also. So his strengths, he's versatile defender. He's a high level run defender with a great football IQ. He's not a real ball hawk where he didn't have a lot of interceptions at Alabama, but he made plays on the ball. And a lot of people say that he's better in the zone than he is in man, but he can line up at different positions in that secondary. He can line up at corner, he can line up at free, he can line up at strong, and he's smart enough to know what's going on and what to do. And in my single round mock drafts, one of the ones I did, please check that out on Big Game Sports Buzz. I got Brian Branch also in that a little bit more depth and detail of the kind of player he is, even with some video. So first and foremost, with the 19th pick in the first round, I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selecting Brian Branch, safety, Alabama. Getting ready for that second round pick. The rumor is right now that Donovan Smith is going to be gone once the season starts. That they need that cap space. Offensive line was banged up a little bit last year, and we need an offensive lineman. So when this guy was available on the board with me going through this draft, I had to select him. And with our second round pick, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selecting Dewan Jones, Ohio State. Now, this is a huge human being. He's big, he's long, he can get after it. Jones has the makeup of a quality starter at the next level that has plenty of dominant moments, but his restrictions could lead to some variance based on matchups. Strengths about this guy, he has rare size and length, very long arms, can protect that blind side. He has great functional strength and great movement for a guy this size. Guys, if you haven't seen it, like I said, check out his highlights. Really quick feet, moves laterally very well for a man being that big. Some people says that his feet are a little too heavy sometimes. I tend to disagree with that just a little bit. He has a tight lower body and the ability to redirect. Once he gets that big train, of a body going, it's hard for him to redirect. And the range on the box. But like I said, as long as he is big as he is, second round draft pick, I see the Buccaneers, if he's there, couldn't miss with offensive tackle Dewan Jones out of Ohio State. Now, in the third round, moving to this, another need I think we need. And looking at this guy on film and seeing him play some this year, I was very impressed by what he can do and think that he would be a great fit in that Todd Bowles defense. And he could definitely help us on that side of the ball. Yes, I gave it away saying Todd Bowles defense. With the third round pick, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selecting Moro Ojomo, defensive interior out of the University of Texas. Ojomo about 6'2", 285 pounds. He has a great motor. He's very versatile, so he can play inside. He has great functional strength with the length and movement that allows him to be very impactful on plays for the Texas Longhorns this past season. He makes impactful plays a lot. I mean, he was always around the ball. He was great in the run game, and he has a good skill set to rush the passer. He has good length. He has a very high motor, is what scouts rant and rave about. The one thing they said that he had limited production, so they wanted to see a little bit more plays. And some people say the scheme, that he has to fit into the correct scheme. And I believe this scheme can do it for him. He can play that one gap. He can play inside in the 2-eye. He can play a 3 if he needed to, go out to a 5. He has the length to be able to do that. And with Vita Vea being banged up a little bit late last year, Hicks will probably not come back. I think that Moro Ojomo, if he's there in the third round, would be a very good pick. So that's what I got broken down for us with that third pick is Moro Ojomo, defensive interior from the University of Texas. Now, not to be short on the side of the ball or overloading on the side of the ball, but I thought with our next pick is in the fifth round, and this guy was available in a position I still think of need that can help because he's versatile. I went with Jackson Kirkland. Jackson Kirkland, offensive guard out the University of Washington. Now he played tackle at UW most of his career when he was there, but he's versatile. He can play tackle or guard, big body. He's smart, experienced blocker that will enter the NFL with multiple years of starting experience at right guard and left tackle. He executes with good timing in the run game and excellent awareness and pass protection. So a lot of teams would already come if they come out run a lot of games or twist. He's already equipped and capable of passing that off and playing it very well. Um, they say he's thin in the lower half of his body and he struggles to maintain a consistent base. So we know as a pass blocker, whenever that base gets small, defensive linemen take advantage of it. So he's going to have to work on his base to keep the proper width and not click his heels and bring his feet together. But other than that, if he's there in the fifth round, he's someone that can come in and learn. Doesn't have to play right away, but in the right situation, he could come in to relieve your offensive line play and be a solid player. So, fifth round pick, I got Jackson Kirkland, offensive guard, University of Washington. Now, I know some of y'all gonna say, big game. I know you're a defensive player because, yet again, I'm going back to the defensive side of the ball. With our second pick in the fifth round, I think that when I saw this name there and read on this guy and watched him play, O'Shawn Mathis, edge out of Nebraska. He was an outside linebacker slash defensive end. He started his career at TCU, but man, he can get after the passer. Um, when Shaq Barrett got hurt last year, we lacked pass rush a little bit, and I talk about Joe Tryon Shank a lot. I know he's only going into his third year. I believe that he's going to improve, but we still need some depth at that position and youth. And, he's a plus athlete who offers all dynamic traits necessary to develop into an impact defender to go along with his natural burst and first step quickness. He offers fluidity, flexibility off the edge, and explosiveness in open spaces. So you put him in that 7 technique, 9 technique, he can get out wide. He's going to give offensive tackles fits. And then coming in the fifth, it doesn't cost you. a whole lot. So it says one of his knocks, while he offers an effective long arm and some explosiveness, um, some one scout said, I'd like to see more upper body strength to recover when he initially gives up his chest to ensure he can recover in close quarter situations. So it's one of those things. He's good when he makes that first move, but if it doesn't succeed, he's going to need to show strength to be able to break down on that block and come up with that counter move that all great pass rushers have. And I believe that is something that he will be able to do. But fifth round pick, our second fifth round pick, I got the Buccaneers taking O'Shawn Mathis, edge out of Nebraska. So it was announced this past week that more than likely tight end Cameron Brate is going to be gone. Um, Cade Otton, I believe, is going to be a great player for us. He had some good moments this year. Cole Keefe, I like him. Um, as a tight end, they put him in the backfield on the fullback situations every now and then. So, but we still need depth at this position because we had Kyle Rudolph, didn't really do a whole lot. He came in as a veteran presence, didn't really help. So, yes, with our 6th-round draft pick, I'm saying the Buccaneers go tight end out of Michigan, Luke Schoonmaker. Man, this kid here, he can catch the ball, he can block, he's very versatile. He's willing and effective blocker in the run game. He fits his hands well and shows the play strengths to turn defenders to seal the edges. Blocking may be his best trait overall. So if you have a guy and K-Dot that can come in as your receiving tight end. You put Luke Schoonmaker in, and he's your blocking tight end. He can help set the edge. He can help Rashad White get to that open field. Um, just does good things. Schumacher's ceiling is more than likely limited due to his age. He will be a 25-year-old rookie tight end here in 2023. Um, but he doesn't have to come in and be the number one. He can come in and be tight end two. Or even in a goal line set, that third tight end, more likely than not, we're going to run the ball. And I believe with Canales, our new OC, we're going to get a lot more run game mixed in there. We won't be throwing as much as we did this past season. So with Schumacher in the game, it just helps get that extra blocker on the field. And every now and then you slip him out and let him go get him a catch. But 6th-round pick, I put Luke Schumacher, tight end out of Michigan. Next pick is also 6th round, and I'm going to stay on the offensive side of the ball. Um, when Jensen got hurt last year early in camp, we had to move some pieces around. But if here in this round, Ricky Stromberg, center out of Arkansas, is what I went with. He's a well tenured starter at an SEC level. He's seen the best of the best every week. As a result, you have a pretty vivid picture of his strengths. He's capable of pretty high level reps in both the vertical run game and working as a quick reach player to set the point of attack and establish a firm lane to cut back into. He can also move over the guard if you need him to. Doesn't have to just snap the ball, but he was a key component on that Arkansas offensive line and just, solid player. It's not a reach. It's a center in the 6th round. If he develops to a good player, you have something that you didn't spend a lot of money on. If he doesn't, you release him in camp or put him on practice squad to let him practice and develop. You don't miss a whole lot with that. But Ricky Stromberg, center out of Arkansas, 6th-round pick. Next, got back on the defensive side of the ball. We don't know what we're gonna, lose. Hopefully, this draft here was put together, you know, being in my mind that we re-signed Levante David, that we don't have to replace him. But you still have to address your special team needs in the draft. So Carlton Marshall, linebacker out of Troy, is who I selected with our first pick in the 7th round. He's instinctive, sideline to sideline, high motor linebacker. He can find a way to compensate for his lack of size in the NFL with his speed. He has a combination of skills to become a productive football player. One of the knocks on him is what position will he play, and also his football IQ. But they say sideline to sideline, he flies around. He's a little undersized, but fast. So that's a good special teams component right there. Someone that you can use in the special teams that maybe heightens that football IQ while playing, while learning, and then he can get on the field to spell people a little bit. But seventh round pick out of Troy, linebacker Carlton Marshall. Now there's only one pick left that we have, and I decided to address the secondary again and stay on the defensive side of the ball. And with our last pick in the seventh round, I said that the Buccaneers should grab Jay Ward, cornerback out of LSU. Um, LSU produces a lot of great defensive backs that have made way in the NFL. And Ward, I believe, is a guy that's a little bit under the radar. Against the run from the safety position, he has a physical presence and that he makes full speed collisions with the ball carrier. So he's not afraid to come up and hit. He does a good job of closing from distance to make plays at or near the line of scrimmage. So he really could transition from that cornerback position down to the safety position where he's played both at LSU. But like I said, it's going to be a position we need. We don't know what Murphy Bunting is going to do. Jamel Dean, Logan Ryan. We got a lot of availability in the secondary. If we don't sign some of these guys back, we're cap strapped, not going to be able to do a whole lot with the salary cap issues that we have in free agency. So we're going to have to rely probably on some late round draft picks to come in and be able to help. And Jay Ward is not a bad pickup for that safety position and being able to be physical, blitz, come downhill, and do the things that we need him to do. So Jay Ward, DB, I put cornerback slash safety out of LSU in the seventh round. So when all said and done, when you look at it, PFF gave me a grade of A minus for how I picked on this draft. Um, I'm not upset about that. It's, one of many mock drafts that will be done and one that I've done. I'm going to do more. But Brian Branch was one that the Draft Network's mock draft had Tampa Bay selecting in the first round, a really high impact player. So again, to just recap that draft, Brian Branch out of Alabama, DeJuan Jones out of Ohio State, Moro Ajomo, defensive interior out of Texas, Jackson Kirkland from the University of Washington, guard O'Shawn Mathis, edge rusher from Nebraska, Luke Shoemaker, tight end out of Michigan, Ricky Stromberg, center out of Arkansas, Carlton Marshall, linebacker out of Troy, and Jay Ward, cornerback out of LSU. Hey, leave those comments down below in the comment box. Are these positions that you would go with? Is there something else you would do if you did a mock draft? Share your mock draft with me so I can go check it out. Mock draft 2.0 will be coming out next week. Um, Again, and I'll probably start doing more individual breakdowns the closer we get to actual draft time. Also, some combine footage that I've been sharing on my channel and page, and that is Big Game Entertainment or Big Game Sports Buzz on YouTube. Y'all make sure you please go like, subscribe, smash that bell. That way you know every time that we're dropping brand new content. So it's your boy, James Canida, former Buccaneers defensive tackle. Thank you for tuning in to Games Pewter Perspective Mock Draft 1.0. Stay tuned for more mock drafts.